Okay, so welcome back for our afternoon session, poster session. Uh, we have next speaker, Pham Xuan Hoi from Vietnam. In the morning, we had a talk from Stefano, who was one of the earliest graduate student from ICGEB Trieste. And Pham happens to be one of the earliest ICGEB graduate student from New Delhi campus. So amazing coincidence. So Pham, please come for the talk. And he's going to speak on improved bacterial leaf blight disease resistance in major cell TBR25 rice. Thanks.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Pham Xuan Hoi from Vietnam. I am honored as an organizer introducing. I am honored the first student of ICB New Delhi from 1996 to 2001, up with Dr. Tutera. After finishing my PhD, I go to Finland for postdoc at Karolinska Institute from 2002 to 2004. Then I do second postdoc in Japan in ICGEB from 2004 to 2006, and come back my country in 2007. And I become the Director General of Institute of Agricultural Genetics from 2017. And my work today is about sorry. So I'm very happy to be here, and thank you, organizer, for giving me a chance to present our current work. And my talk today is about improved bacterial leaf blight disease resistance in maize elite TBR225 rice cultivar using predictable cat system. Actually, this work was started from 2017 after my coming back from the MKT's laboratory. So I see it's very important for my eye as well as Vietnam also. So come to bacterial disease, leaf blight disease, short name is BLB, and it's one of the most dangerous rice disease in Vietnam. And it's not a Vietnam disease because it lost about 30 to 50%, even 100% in some places. So we think BLB resistant variety is the most effective approach for control of BLB disease. So TBR225 rice cultivar is major rice cultivar in the red river delta with the annual sowing area about
It's time for some quick questions, one or two, if there are.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. Just wait for a second. So, MK, why don't you come and yes.
So, for this sort of genetic modification, what are the rules in Vietnam for if you wanted to take this to the field? What is the regulatory landscape like?
Nowadays, biosecurity in Vietnam still not respond with the general thing corrupt, but in future maybe it will change. Yeah.
But even for CRISPR-Cas9 derived plants,
Yeah.
you don't have any regulatory restrictions.
I think for by biosafety regulation for GMO plants we have regulation, but for genome editing we have no record.
Okay.
But we still consider this GMO plant. But in future maybe things will be open. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Thank you very much.
here is Thank you, Fam. So the next speaker is Prashant Singh. We overlapped at ICGEB for quite some time, and right now he's heading at Science and Technology Cluster in Bhubaneswar. So he's going to talk about things that he manages there, at Bhubaneswar.
Very good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for this opportunity. More than that, I think most of the alumni are going to be very happy with this initiative. I belong to the group of people whose last stop over here was their PhD viva course. After that, we never visited, and after 12 years I'm here. It's pretty nostalgic. At that time, PM sir was there, and now I hear that he is superannuating this week itself. So, many congratulations, sir, for this wonderful service. He was my mentor, so I thought I should mention that. Yeah. My talk is not going to be scientific. I am more into science administration right now, and I will be talking about science science and technology clusters, which are coming across different cities. It is an initiative of Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to Government of India, and I am heading the cluster which is there at Bhubaneswar. Next slide. Keyboards. Okay. So these clusters are coming at 6 different cities. That is Delhi, that is getting anchored at IIT Delhi, Hyderabad, Pune, Bhubaneswar, Jodhpur, and Bangalore. The aim of these clusters are like creating an inclusive infrastructure. So cluster per se is just an office, but we are working very closely with different institutions in that particular city to create an inclusive infrastructure that is shared resources, maybe even the library or instrumentations, they all can be shared by wider MOU among different organizations, and then look for some regional problems for which solution is needed. So the clusters are less focused on the academic research, but really identifying some problems and looking for the solutions using regional expertise. For example, if I'm talking about Delhi cluster, they are highly focused on the air pollution as well as EVs, because Delhi Jaipur is the EV trial highway which is going to come up. For Bhubaneswar, if I'm talking about, we are more focused towards the waste which is getting generated in the mining area and how we can try to create value out of it. I will give an example of that project. As well as, let's say, Chilika Lake is there, and it's a very unique ecosystem in the globe, but it is having a threatening invasion of some of the pragmatic species that is leading to the curtailment of the lake. So those are the work which we are doing, which we are working on. And then definitely you work on some of the projects which are of national and international importance, like if we are talking about EV mission or quantum mission. So these clusters are supposed to work together with different institutions to address those challenges. The other thing is, like, we are not only, advised to work with academia, and we have to look for comprehensive solutions. So you have to work with academia, industry, government and startups, so that whatever technology we are going to develop, there is a huge case analysis for that. In fact, none of our projects are going to be approved unless we have a defined user who is going to use it after some time. Just for example, so this is the institution cluster in Bhubaneswar, where we have industrial collaboration institution, government agencies, etc. And some of the thematic areas we are working on. I will give an example of waste to value session, where I will be talking about mining waste. So EVs are going to be very, very important, and we all are talking about, non-availability of some of the EV component in the country. If we are talking about some of the major one, it's fine. But even nickel, which is very, very common, is not available in the country. It is not at all available in the country. Classically, our nickel uses were limited to the steel industry, so there was not much of the challenge. But when we are talking about EV, we need a high pure nickel, and again we are going to be dependent on foreign countries. So as a national mission, nickel is very, very important, be it electrical mobility mission, electrical vehicle mission or waste to wealth mission. Only resource, I'm talking about not ore but resource, which is available in India is in Odisha, that is Sukhinda region, where it is present in along with the promides. So considering the importance of it, 5 year, 10 year down the line, it's going to be essential. The idea was to take this project and try to translate it into the ground. In a classical one, the scientists presented, we will take the chromite overburden, do various analysis, and we purify and come with the pure nickel. It got rejected because pure nickel is fine if you are going to use it for steel, not at all something which we are needed to. You have to use it in battery material. So CSR MMT was doing this. They had to onboard IIT Bhubaneswar also to develop the battery material for that. Along with that, we have to work with the Odisha Mining Corporation, who are going to be the owner of these nickel resources. They had their own set of questions, that what is the efficacy at different efficacy levels or financial viability level proven. So we worked on different parameters, what was important for them, and identify that, if you develop this technology, probably it is going to be beneficial for you. And I am not showing the numbers, but at least when we could show that, at least 30% rate of return you are going to get on your investment, then only it was considered. And with the caveat that everything looks fine on the paper, first go back and identify the amount of nickel present in actual mines. So on the left side, we are talking about, we are going to study the nickel content itself. This project is only an example how the cluster works, and this is what we foresee that is going to come in near future for more and more projects. When we are talking about some projects of national importance, we have to integrate ourselves or collaborate with the right set of people who can talk about various different components which are to be integrated before the actual translation happens. This is one of the projects. Right now we are having collaboration with 26 different institutions and organizations in Odisha and nearby area. There are 14 cluster projects which are going on. And for each one, generating funding is going to be tough, but once the funding is generated, it's going to pay you much better in comparison to a standard fund we might have generated. In addition to what I was talking about Bhubaneswar, PSA office is also working on some of the inclusive infrastructure level initiative at the country level. One of them is like India Science, Technology and Engineering Facility Map, ICGEB.gov.in. This might be very, very important for the students. You go to this site, and if you want to do any experiment and if you don't have resources in your lab, what to do? I just gave a search for electron microscope, and it gave me that okay, there are 273 instruments. Nearly all the public sector instrumentation is backed on this website, and that is at 139 places. You can check it out. If there is an instrument next to your institute, you can go and work over there, or at least this platform give a connect to reach out to the PI who is heading their particular facility. You can search out anything, 2D gel electrophoresis, NMR, all will be listed, nearly all will be listed. To further support the initiative, even the students are given the partial support for their travel and stay for using the facility. So this is an inclusive infrastructure we are trying to create at national level. You might also have heard that a lot of projects were facilitated by Office of the PSA during the COVID time. From that, we have graduated with a platform, dedicated platform, that is Manthan platform. Here, different companies, so again it is not going to be classical funding, but different companies who are having a specific requirement, they are coming and floating their challenges on this platform. If you scroll through it, and if you find something in alignment, you can apply for that funding at least at a initial level, initial discussion level, right there, and it will consolidate multiple options. It may be BMGF, it may be Rockefeller, it may be Tata Trust, it may be Infosys Foundation. Nearly all the challenges are going to come over here. That is on the demand side, that I had a need if you can develop some solution for that. Similarly, from the supply side, if we say that we have generated a lot of intellectual property already and which can be commercialized, so we can also post our discoveries or our TRL levels 5-star works over there. And again, the companies themselves are scrolling and scouting on these platforms, and if they find something which is getting already developed in the lab and going to help them, they can try to contact you. So this is kind of national infrastructure, collaborative infrastructure we are trying to build. For Bhubaneswar I talked earlier, and with that this is the initiative, and I think some of you might be interested to use these opportunities which are available. Thank you.
Thanks, Prasant. I think we are getting different flavors of what ICGEB Alumni has been doing. So question, Dinesh.
Yeah.
So is there a facility to book the facility online? Yes, because if you approach an EPI, they will say it's heavily booked, we can't help it.
Yeah, so
that's a very usual answer we get.
ICGEB is like Office of the PSA is not the custodian. So how it works is like we have reached out to nearly all the institutions. So we reached out to DBT, we reached out to DST, and they have percolated it to their institutions, and all those institutions has put their infrastructure back on the ICGEB portal. It does take sometimes some nudging, sometimes information are not very clear, but yes, if there is a command, there is a connect tab, at least the work can be initiated, and if there is a challenge, one can write directly to ICGEB and
yeah, I think it's a very good initiative, but there should be a mechanism for ensuring the compliance.
Yeah, compliance. So if you write back to ICGEB that okay, I'm trying to use this facility and I'm not they will definitely intervene and try to address it. We have seen it in couple of cases in ISC itself, because the main server is there in ISC. Yeah.
So DBT also has similar portal that has come up,
Yeah,
service portal, which is trying to do the same
so a
thing.
lot of
putting in
work are
place.
happening in parallel. So
Yeah,
definitely.
But it's great to see even in science administration we have ICGEB alumni doing really great. So thank you, Prasant. Thank you very much. And again, I'll request. Oh yes.
Any high value equipment we have to buy, we have to map it
Oh,
on this.
yes. So,
So
that is
we
very,
have
very
to
important.
certify that it's not available in the
We
vicinity.
already have 10 real-time PCR machine in the institute, and I'm putting another requisite for 11th machine. The committee may ask to get it through ICGEB portal. If it is already mapping 10 instrument, the chances are that the 11th instrument it may be tough to get. That doesn't mean that at least from our side or from higher up side, the idea is not that to not get fund, but use that extra 15 lakh rupees for maybe human resource or somewhere else, rather than replicating the same infrastructure.
So do you have the age of the instrument mapped as well? Because
Yes,
it's
it is supposed to be when somebody is so ICGEB is not going to map it. ICGEB will provide a template, and the institute is going to map it. So institute administration is going to map it. There itself, they should clearly say that it is out of AMC or it is not working. So these are the only 4 instruments which are working, despite I might be having 10, 12 different instruments. So that is something that leverage is there with the institutions to put that information in advance.
This is
And no booking can happen without the consent of the owner of the instrument. So I may raise a request, but sometimes we have seen that from Guwahati person is raising a request for ISC or IIT Bombay, and we say why don't you go to Calcutta? So sometimes it should not happen that just for sake of going somewhere and I can partially recover the cost of going to that place, should not end up into the misuse of the facility.
Prashant, one thing means that of course the instrument is in closed geographical location, maybe CMC, AMC, but the stat on the usage should be put on the record. The institute should be asked, okay, how many external users are using it, how many internal users are using, and what is the downtime. So that will provide, okay, I know the instrument has a 80% downtime, obviously I will not go there. And or an instrument which is heavily used by the internal users and externals are not getting used, I will not go there. So this kind of data should be also there available. Otherwise,
So it depends on I will say I have seen the data, and the data is 70% good. Your question is very genuine. The challenge is other way around. People just say that instrument is there is no information. If you yourself have not given information that it is out of AMC or it is going to be it is found off or something like that, then the next user is going to chase you and you have to answer that. But it's like how best we can provide our data, that is going to help to the others. That is going to be the bigger help, rather than because next person doesn't know anything. He is just looking at the data set. And the team at ICGEB is also, I think, hardly 20-25 people. They also can't map at least 20,000 instruments across different research organizations. So it is also very much dependent on the lab itself, the institute itself, that they provide the right data. You can also provide the finances, like for industry the charges are this much, for the student charges are this much. All those things can be done, but unfortunately people are just uploading the instrument name and not much detail associated with that. It's like completing the compliance, because DBT has ordered all their institutions to map their instrument at this time.
Yeah, but you would agree you have stirred something which is very close to the heart of all experimental biologists. So talking about availability of equipment and you. So thank you very much, Prashant, and I request Dr. Salunke to hand over this. Okay, so our next speaker is Amit Dutt. He's at Actech, Mumbai, and he's going to talk about translating cancer genomics to medicine. I didn't have an overlap when Amit was probably here at ICGEB, but we know each other for quite some time, and it will be great to be here again.
Very good afternoon, everyone. Right. So thank you. So it's a distinct pleasure and honor to be at your alma mater. Thank you, Dr. Salinke, Dr. Pawan Malhotra, and Dr. Dheeraj for having me over here. This is a unique blend of nostalgic feeling as well as like emotional to come back to the same institute after 2 decades and present to the same auditorium where you once defended, once you kind of like presented your work. So this is a trajectory of how I started my work around here. I have been through an unusual trajectory, and this is specifically primarily directed towards the students over here that continue doing what you're doing till you really enjoy doing so, and if you at some moment of your career feel like having a change in your career, change of subject or something, it's not something that you should not be adopting to. I would show you some changes that I've made to my life and made to my career and the choices, and that's what my trajectory of life has been. So I started being at ICGEB has always been since the times that I was over here. Being at ICGEB, it was one of the very liberal institute at the times in 1998, 2000. Several of you perhaps were not even born around at that time. One of the very progressive institute, something that was totally distinct with all its infrastructural and several other aspects that were associated with being at ICGEB in Delhi. There were very few institutes that would match the standards. The malaria group, the virology group, the plant group. I mean, they were really at those times when I was over here, something that were the leading out there in the nation. And so it was really a matter of honor to be at ICGEB. And today when we stand here, the bunch of our alumni, we are absolutely delighted to be here. So this is how I kind of like started. So this predates the PhD program here at ICGEB. So around at that time, the ICGEB program was getting started. We were primarily graduate students with the external registration program. So I was registered at Jamia Millia Islamia, where I completed my master's, where my fellowship was getting activated under the mentorship of Professor Arif Ali. And here I was working, thanks to, there is absolutely no words for me to express my gratitude to Dr. Shiva Reddy in the plant transformation group, where I was started my PhD working on the plants genetics. So that was way back in 1998. And again, as what I kind of like mentioned, this is one of the most liberal institute, and the culture that ICGEB had, I am not very much in touch with like how it kind of like really continues as of today. I believe that it be so that the students had a direct access to the offices of the PIs, and we could talk to them anything at your mind inside out. Now this was certain things which was not available. There was a huge gap in the culture across different institutes. The disparity was huge. You can imagine that I'm a graduate student in 1998. In 2001, that was the time where all the genome sequencing was being carried out. And there was a change of my interest. I mean, plants were taking a lot more longer. The incubation times were a lot more longer. C. elegans as a model organism was coming up as much stronger. One of the first organisms where the genome was sequenced. And I was getting interested more into the genetics of C. elegans and into the developmental biology. In 2001, I walk up to my PI's office and I say that, sir, it has been really a great pleasure being around over here, but I'm wanting to kind of like move into a different stream, that is into the C. elegans developmental biology. And such was the grace of Dr. Shiva Reddy, that he was so accommodative and so understanding that he worked around with me to allow me to complete my PhD in 3 years. So, I mean, I don't see him today here in the audience right now. It was only because of him I was able to defend my thesis in 2001 at Jamia Millia Islamia for all the work that was being carried out over here. Thanks to Dr. V.S. Chauhan, he was the director then, and Dr. Leelavati in the laboratory for all the help that I received from her. Soon after completing my PhD from here, I'm one of the few I had an opportunity to move to the University of Zurich. I was very much determined to pursue the developmental biology and to work more into the cancer research. I was interested, I joined the Department of Krebs portion, that's what they call, that's the Department of Cancer Research, using C. elegans as a model system where we were working the EGFR RAS-MAP kinase pathway. And once I completed my PhD from the University of Zurich, I moved to the Broad Institute of Harvard and MIT to work now cancer in the human settings. And we were using, that was one of the leading center around then and still remains as of today, to work the genomics approaches to understand the nuances and the complexities of the cancer genome. 2010, I moved back as a faculty at Tata Memorial Center. Many might perhaps know about that. That is the leading tertiary cancer care center from this part of the world, where the patient load is perhaps bigger than even the largest hospital out over there, that is the MD Anderson for cancer. So, and since then I have been along the faculty over there. I thought that I would borrow few minutes from mine, though I promised to be in that 20 minutes, some of my time to introduce to the times that I was over here, and this wouldn't have been possible with all the community and all the friends that what we generated. I would start with a profound brief note. Nima, a graduate student, she left us too young. She's not us with anymore. So I want to express my profound grief and my tribute to her. We really had a fantastic time, and she left us when she was doing her postdoc in the US. Here what we see is Tarannum. She completed her PhD with Dr. Niruma Bhattnagar. Here is Dr. Gayatri Venkataraman. I'm meeting her after 2 decades. I met her today. She has been a faculty, a team head at the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation in Chennai. We had a great overlap and a great friendship that what we at the time. Here am I. You could see there is something still up there. Not that it is not there anymore, but yeah. So, and another friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, Dr. Vinod Pant. Vinod Pant was with Dr. Sunil Mukherjee, and later on he moved to the immunology group. He joined, currently he is faculty at the MD Anderson at the University of Texas. Here is another very close friend of mine. She's a professor at University of Delhi in the Department of Botany, Yashwanti Mudgel. I'm really excited, all of us over here are very excited that we will get a chance to see her and meet her today. Here is Dr. Sharik Rahil. Sharik was a graduate student with Dr. Raj Bhattnagar, Dr. Niruma Bhattnagar, and currently he is a faculty at the University of Illinois, but I have unfortunately not been in so touch with him. Another good friend of mine, Dr. P.N. Singh, perhaps some of you might, he's a star. He's one of the brightest that I would say from among us. He's currently in industry. He's into the massively parallel sequencing of amino acids, a completely disruptive technology that is going to change something akin to the next generation sequencing, that what we do in the genome sequencing. So this is what it is. Some more few glances. This is what our group is. We had like a huge amount of we were a lot of outings, and the culture that what we had being here at ICGEB. Here is another bright young fellow, Punjab, Dr. Punjab Singh Malik. He was with Dr. Sunil Mukherjee. Punjab was one of the brightest, most calm, and the most composed person from among all of us. And I really have to mention this fact over here that Punjab took an unconventional path. I mean, this is like most of us